Alright, good evening and welcome to what is going to be and what is the biggest series of 2022, full stop. Um, this is bigger than Novak Djokovic getting kicked out of Australia by the Australian government. This is bigger than COVID 19, and this is bigger than Betty White passing away aged 99. This is the ASR 2022 Summer Series in what has to be described as utter shitboxes. But here we are in the Brazilian TC Classics DLC in the slowest class, I believe. I think it's the B class, but without the Puma GTEs. And of course, this is round number one. Qualifying session number one. 10 minutes for these drivers to go out there and set a lap time. 4 races per round. Each race just over 30 kilometres long, or about 30 kilometres long. So about 15 or so, or just over 15 minutes of racing per race. But here we are, Wanneroo Raceway. I don't know, it's Barbagallo Raceway. This is the historic version from 2006. And Laszlo Teglas has joined us from overseas and was quite handy in the practice session. Was overall second fastest, which is much higher than what we've seen when he's raced in other series so far. So it's good to see him up there. But Tim Redmond overall fastest in the practice session by a comfortable margin. And I've got some lap times already with NZ Snipes, 1:13.4. And that is a personal best for him. Liccardo second with Burke in third place. And we've got Tim Redmond now. 2 purple sectors. He's going to go to the top. And, well, he's absolutely exploited the track limits at the exit of the final corner. He'll go to the top there. So drivers has taken the piss. And, not touch the AIW file. Won't tell them off for it, but it's not the first controversy we've seen with drivers taking the piss with track limits in a casual series. So hopefully it doesn't blow up too big. But 13-1 for Redmond. Snipes 2 tenths away, and then quite a sizable gap to Liccardo in third place. With Cracker now jumping up into 5th ahead of Teglas, Miles and Brendan Ross in a guest car. Currently got fair size field, 22 cars currently in the server at the moment as we go to Mike Coulson. Good to see him back out there. Not good to see him mowing some grass down there at technically turn 4, but turn 2 and 3, well, they're not too, couldn't really classify them as proper turns. In most cars they're quite close to flat. As Greg Turret goes to third position, and he's actually matched his first sector there, and then throws it off the road at the bowl. So back to the pits goes Greg Turret. Tim Redmond and Snipes are in the pits. Lockie Lock now in 4th place. Still 5 minutes to go here in the qualifying session. Still good 6 or 7 drivers yet to have set a lap time here. And Scott Nolan too out there. So Scott Nolan racing under iRacing name really, with the number on the end. So clearly not as good as the first Scott Nolan. Has to have a 2 at the end of his name. Late joiner in this one in one of the 3 guest cars. Not too many guest cars. And 2 of them being taken up with Nolan in one and Brendan Ross in the other. Brendan Ross doing a fantastic job there. 26.653 seconds off the pace. But still, he's trying hard out there, and you can't fault his effort. And Scott Nolan there, 5/10 off in the first split. And having a big crack there at Cole Corner. And now the long run up and then down the hill to the final corner. We've seen plenty of drama over the years. And across the line, Scott Nolan, 13.799. So not a bad effort from the second best Scott Nolan out there. My apologies. So not bad, but he'll be hoping for a little bit better. That's for sure. And what can he manage this time around here? And well, he's well off here in the first sector. So we'll skip to someone else here. Got Termo out there at the moment as Taipan goes P7. Actually set a purple final sector there. I wonder if here's another one of the drivers that has gone and used some liberties with the track limits down there. As Termo crosses the start-finish line, that'll be 14.3 for Termo. Nudges Matt Cecil out of the top 10. Number of drivers only set really the one lap and haven't been able to maximise their time on the circuit, as we got Aaron Lachlan in the gravel trap down there at Cole Corner. Nathan Higginson is on his lap. And just look at it go. That is just speed right there. Top speed going by live races of 176 kilometers per hour. I could go out there in my Focus and go probably good 30 k's faster than that around here. And that's just by keeping it in third. As Higginson goes across the line, 14th, 14.7. He'll be quite disappointed with that. He set a 13.3 in the practice session, and he's got absolutely nowhere near it. Oh well. He's got it now, as Darren Lachlan now is going to try and start a lap. Less than a minute to do so, and it's come in hot. Locked the brakes, but being front-wheel drive, can just power out of it. So that will be a feature of these. I wouldn't call them race cars. Let's just call them cars. You're going to see a lot of smoke and skid marks from drivers just being a little bit too adventurous coming into corners and either locking brakes or just getting all four wheels in a bit of a drift. And quite wide there for Lachlan there. Turn 4, now turn 5. .1 off there in sector 1, so it's not what the cool kids would defy as a heater. Here he goes straight past the camera at a massive mammoth speed of 170 kilometers. Well, he probably would have been doing 130 at that point kilometers per hour. Final corner now, once again, bit of a drift on. Probably needs to get on the power a little bit earlier there to actually stop the drift and carry more speed through there. But Lachlan will come to the line, 1 minute 15.1. He'll go 17th ahead of Glenn Miles and just behind Laszlo Teglas. Did see one or two drivers not making it into the qualifying session. They were just a little bit late. So this grid will expand. It'll be Christian Alvarez, another one of the drivers that has signed up, hasn't been able to get in because the qualifying sessions at ASR are closed to prevent people joining and causing a stutter for other people out there. But this is just a casual series, so it shouldn't matter if you start at the front or the back. It's all about a bit of fun. Anyway, I have to go and conduct the driver's briefing. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes time. But don't go anywhere for 4 races in these absolute buckets. Alright, I'm back for the moment. Driver's briefing has been concluded, and drivers have been warned if they do act like morons on the racetrack in this series when it is broadcast. I'm not sure if I'll broadcast every round because, hey, I might want to do a round myself, but if drivers act like idiots on the racetrack, they will get roasted. They've been warned. Some have welcomed it. I don't know. I can sometimes go a little bit deep with when I go to burn people. So yeah, don't act like dickheads on the race circuit. Looking at you in particular, Rudy. And well, thankfully for Higo, he's actually driving a front-wheel drive car, I believe. I think they're all front-wheel drive, so he shouldn't be able to completely destroy the rear tyres in this. But the front tyres are definitely going to be, well, canvas by the end of each race. But anyway, got about 3.5 minutes left in the warm-up. I've got to go get myself a drink because I'm getting a dry mouth already. So I will just leave you to the soothing tunes of some absolute shitboxes down there at the final corner. I will be right back. Alright, I am back. And as you can hear in the background, you can hear some of the finest motor vehicles ever designed and constructed. You can hear the crowd, the announcer, the anticipation. This is the biggest race of 2022. And you can't see it right now, but there is a car on its roof going over the start-finish line. There's a massive group of cars doing a practice start/race. You can't see it. I'm sure we're going to see it, though, in the races. Probably at least twice. One thing of note, if I do actually want to bring up, I don't know if it will allow me to pick it up before the session swaps over. If I can just skip through all these cameras here. There it is. Look at that hot air balloon. That is moving, and that is Steam Edition. If anybody knows Microsoft Flight Sim and has been on a public lobby, that is steaming. That is flying out there, and it's quite apt that it's got Air Force on it with FA-18 on the side. Probably travelling faster than a number of the Australian Air Force FA-18s. But there you go. Session will tick over at any point now. Some drivers have set some times in the warm-up session. And Brendan Ross has actually improved by about 25 seconds on his qualifying time there. So that's good to see from Rossi that he is improving, but still finds himself off the pace. So disappointing for him. But we have had Christian Alvarez jump into the server, so it's good to see he's able to get in. But race number 1, not far from getting underway here. And just a reminder, if I haven't brought it, or if I have brought it up, but if I haven't brought it up, obviously the series is all progressive grid. So outside of the first qualifying super pole, where 10 minutes everybody gets time to set one lap to sort out qualifying for race number 1. After that, it's all progressive grid. So where you finish the previous race is where you start the next. Because this, I wouldn't call it intermission, but this service synchronization brought to you by Summersby Cider. We crack open a cold one, and drivers now onto the grid, and there it is, the majestic hot air balloon moving at speeds much greater than what these cars are capable of. And there it is, formation lap underway. I'll have to actually, no, I can take my time. These cars are pretty slow, and these guys are probably going to dilly around here on the warm-up lap. But Tim Redmond will start from pole position, I expect, and hope NZ Snipes will just punt him at turn 1. Greg Turrer there will start from 3rd place with the aptly named G-Tuz team. And then we have Scott Nolan in the Gold Guest Racing car. He'll start from 4th place. Not bad for the second best Scott Nolan in AMS and iRacing. Lachlan Locke will start in P5. And there's a bit of history with that car. I think it was his old man drove a car almost identical to that, at least a livery anyway. A number of cars like that, with Tim Redmond as well, another one that I think that car was based off his real life livery. There's a number of drivers out there, I think, trying to get roasted deliberately here. Dane Liccardo, one of them. He'll start 6th. Taipan will start in 7th with Noah Turra, another one of those cars trying to lose control on the warm-up lap here. He'll start in 8th place. Lockie Burke, he'll start 9th. Turmo rounds out the top 10, and we've got Matt Cecil. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but mowing grass and trying to roll on a formation lap. That's a first for me. He'll start 11th. Luke Joyner, he'll start from 12th place with Mike Coulston. Good to see him back right behind him. Nathan Higginson in 14th. Expect his rear tyres to be gone and front tyres to be gone after lap 2. Cracker will start in 15th, and we've got a car in the wall there. That's Luke Joyner. So this formation lap already shown that these guys have forgotten how to drive over the summer. And Laszlo Teglas, he'll start in 16th. Expect him to move through the field, going by his practice times. Darren Loughlin will start 17th. Glenn Miles in 18th. Rhodey in 19th. Brian Walsh in 20th. Melody Smith will start in 21st place, with Brendan Ross starting 22nd. Hashtag A driver, not B driver. That's me, you scrub. And Christian Alvarez, who missed qualifying, did make it. He'll start from 23rd position. And let's hope we see a Dean Fiore type start here, where there's a car burst into flames off the start here. So here we go. There's a number of drivers out of position. That's why the lights haven't started yet. And who is it? Who's going to be the one that's going to get shuffled back after the 60 seconds here? Or the 2 or 3? Because there's a number of guys out there that don't look like they're in position here. Ooh, that's a black and red car. As the lights are on. Might have been Brian Walsh down there. Glenn Miles. And away we go. We're going to have to wait about 2 minutes for these cars to get to turn 1. And Snipes has got a decent start here. This is it. Just fence him. Just roll him up. Oh, he's going to play nice there. He hasn't. Oh, no, he has sent it. And we've had G-Tars into 3rd there. Are they all going to get through turn 1? They are. Multiple cars side by side through turn 1. And now we go through these sweeping turns 2 and 3. Multiple cars side by side. Redmond's still in 2nd, but he'll have the inside coming up the hill. Bit of door banging with Snipes. They've got Noah Tara going off on the grass onto the inside. But Snipes is in the lead. Got Cracker up on the curb there. And looks like, I think most people there have lived to fight another day as Snipes goes defensive to Cole Corner. And a big dive from Dane. And, well, he's pulled it up and then got served from Greg Tara there. Bit adventurous, and if he had wiped him out there, could have found himself with a penalty already, but he's somehow made it stick. But now he's got an angry field behind him, and he's just letting the Kiwis get away here. But here we go. If we're going to see any drama, it's going to be here, the final corner. Snipes goes defensive. We're going to see a dive. Higginson. Oh, there's Lockie Burke off into the grass onto the inside. And that's Brian Walsh also making a move down there. It's once again Redmond and Snipes side by side still. And behind them, we've got Liccardo and G-Taz side by side, just ahead of Scott Nolan and Noah Tara. Also got Cracker, who's had a pretty decent start. Well, it was Cracker. I thought it was Cracker. Anyway, it might be. It's actually Termo. They both run similar liveries. Up a couple spots as well. Lucky locked down a couple, but still within striking distance. As we see, look at that flying. Yeah, let's stuff the cars. Let's have a look at that hot air balloon. Oh, no, better not. But here we go. And big dive here from Termo. A little bit of contact with Lucky Lock, and he's got the job done. So up 3 spots for Termo. Now we've got Noah Tara, Scott Nolan, and Dane Liccardo all duking it out here. And Nolan, too, has got the run. Tara, Noah, that is, looking up the inside. They're going to go 3 wide here into the final corner. Also got yellows down there as well as a car stuck in the gravel trap. Not going to penalise drivers for overtaking down there in this series for that kind of stuff. So not sure what's going on with, I think that's Mike Coulston down there. Snipes and Redmond still side by side. And Snipes still holding on as Tara still looking to make a move on Liccardo. A little bit of contact between Liccardo and Tara as well as Nolan. And now Termo into play as well. So big 4-car battle for what is 4th place. Allowing Greg Tara to get away. Greg Tara just edging closer to the front 2 as they continue to battle as well. But this battle is raging. As we see multiple cars doing a bit of lawn mowing down there. And Higginson, big dive, and he's fucked that up royally. And unfortunately for Lachlan Locke, that's going to send him to the back. And we have seen cars struggle to get out of the gravel trap in practice. And he smartly just goes straight to the ring of grass around the outside. Higginson, he's going to be stuck there for a while. I believe that's what happened to Mike Coulston down there as well. So don't get stuck in the gravel trap. There's a little bit of contact between Scott Nolan 2 and Noah Tara. They've actually battled too hard and allowed Dane Liccardo to get away. Redmond, fastest lap of the race. He's got the inside of Snipes this time into turn 1. And also seen Greg Tara make up about a tenth of a second on that last lap. It was 1.3, now 1.2. We'll be hoping these guys continue to duke it out there. You see Lockie Burke fastest lap of the race of a 13.9. So lap time's a little bit of ways off from what we saw in the practice sessions here. These guys all battling very hard. It looks like things for now just started to calm down. Unfortunately, Tim Redmond's in the lead. Might drive away from it here. So Snipes is just going to have to send it into the final corner just to make things interesting. And Greg Tara now starting to fall into the clutches of Ricardo and Noah Tara, with Scott Nolan just drifting away a little bit. Oz Turmo not being able to stick with Scott Nolan. There's a little bit of snakies there from Ricardo and Noah Tara, who's all kinds of sideways under brakes, and they're both very, very wide at the final corner. And 13.0, good 9/10 of a second faster than the previous fastest lap of the race there for Redmond. And up the inside goes Tara on Ricardo. He's got that move done, and now once again Scott Nolan right there. A little bit further back though, we've got did have three wide action between Cracker, Matt Cecil and Laszlo Teglas. Now Teglas is one of the drivers I expect to move his way through the field, but very tricky little racetrack to pass sometimes, but he's able to just edge his way ahead of Matt Cecil. Now up 5 spots, but it's compromised his run just a little bit, but he's still right there with Cracker. We may see him make a bit of a dive into Cole Corner up ahead, as we see a number of drivers locking brakes / having their unweighted tyre just bounce along the front end of the road. And we've also got Brendan Ross up 9 spots. We've got yellows out down there, so don't tell me there's another incident down there that's left someone in a gravel trap. No. We've got Matt Cecil and Brendan Ross now duking it out. Also got Teglas looking to make a move on Cracker. Ross, well, he can't quite get the job done. We do have a car. That's Greg Tara. What has happened to Greg Tara? He was in 3rd place. Well, I reckon he's rolled it. Now, replays show that, they don't show rollovers if you're not looking directly at them in AMS. I reckon Greg Tara has rolled that unseen by our cameras there. So disaster for GTARS. But, bragging rights for Noah Tara now. But the big battle now for 4th place. Scott Nolan, Turmo and Dane Liccardo holding Turmo and Nolan 2 up. A little bit sideways for Dane, a little bit sideways for Nolan, and a little bit of a sideways for Turmo as well. And Turmo's got the best run out of all of them. They may go 3 wide here. A little bit of bump drafting going on. Nolan on the outside, Turmo on the inside with Ricardo in the middle. We've got another car off down there. And trying to work out, it's Melody Smith down there that's beaching the gravel. And who is Taipan has come flying in. But out of that battle pack, looks like Turmo a little bit of a loser there. And once again, Ricardo defensive into turn number 1, lap 7 of 13. Still plenty of time remaining in this one. They've actually had Redmond drop quite a chunk of time, so he had a poor final sector. What's happened here? Has he just deliberately slowed for yellows, or has he made a mistake? May have just slowed for yellows there, but Snipes is right there. But once again, Ricardo. Oh, what's happened to... Oh, we've got Joyner there. He's gone on a bit of an adventure. What's he done? Well, that's a bit naughty there. He's actually... oh, no, he hasn't gained time. He's actually lost time, but... more lawn mowing done. A little bit further back, we do have Matt Cecil, Joyner, and... don't know if that is Cracker, so a bit of a timing glitch there. So these guys still continuing to battle out here for the glorious place of 9. And around the outside, we've seen drivers hold on around the outside there before. Matt Cecil on the previous lap, or 2 laps ago. But nice little battle pack here. And Christian Alvarez looking to make up positions, and he's done so. Now up 11 spots after Luke Joyner. Another mistake after being in a decent position compared to his qualifying effort. But he's thrown that all away now as Rossi continues to pressure Matt Cecil. Matt Cecil continues to be stuck behind Cracker. Laszlo Teglas now behind Scott Nolan too. He's fallen off this battle pack for 4th, which again Liccardo continues to hold. And being similar to touring car racing, could see him being just dumped with these guys just being sick of being blocked lap by lap. Old British touring car style. It's at the moment a little bit of a lull, so we'll just see a little bit further back here. G-Tars looking to make his way back up the field. He's got to contend with Christian Alvarez looking to make his way forward. As we see Luke Joyner all kinds of sideways there through the final corner. Rossi still can't get by Matt Cecil. Yeah, he's still stuck. As go a little bit further forward, and Termo and Taipan still struggling to get by Liccardo, who's sideways and then blocks Taipan because he's lost all that momentum. And Termo's like, nah, get out of my way. I'm not losing my momentum because you ran into him. And now that's brought Nolan too, who's, oh, that's a interesting block. One, let's say there. Let's have a look from Scott Nolan's point of view. Nolan 2. Yes, I'd be a bit aggrieved if I was Mr. Nolan there. But here we are, final corner. Redmond once again just skipped away again. Oh, a little bit of contact with Leglass, and well, Leglass a little bit of front to rear contact with Taipan, and then a little bit of contact with Nolan on the exit as he tried to continue on with his momentum. But Teglas now looking to make a move up the inside of Taipan. A little bit of rubbing with Taipan and Nolan 2. And Nolan 2 getting that job done here. Will we see retribution? As once again, Liccardo sideways there, turn 4. At some point, one of these drivers is just going to drive straight through him and not give us stuff because they're costing them momentum here. And Termo up the inside of Cole Corner. Can he pull it up? He can. And both Liccardo and Teglas there just cutting through the inside because they lost control. Nolan was also a little bit wide, but still was able to maintain momentum. And Taipan also buying into this. We could see 4 wide here. There will be some bump drafting with Taipan and Teglas. And that's going to get him ahead of Liccardo and Nolan, at least for now. A little bit of moving under brakes. This is shades of Jason Bright. Steve Richards, Mark Scaife, I think it was Jason Bright down there many moons ago in the early 2000s in supercars. And, Nolan lives to fight another day. Unfortunately for Liccardo and Taipan, they've dropped down a few positions. G-Tar's now looking to make a move on Taipan, and he's had to cut across the inside of the grass there. Let's just have a look here. He's tried to send it, and he's just a little bit of a squeeze, but nothing too hard there. And Rossi's finally got himself ahead of Matt Cecil. It's taken him all race long, but he's finally done it. The first 3 drivers, with all the battling happening from 4th and behind, have checked out. So who gives a stuff about them? They're all boring up at the front. But now it's Brendan Ross and Dane Liccardo here, as a number of these drivers deciding to just cut Cole Corner because they're just out of control. That's just a quick run through the field here. So Tim Redmond in the lead. He's about to start the second last lap here. There we go. And then we have NZ Snipes with actually Noatara just slowly edging towards NZ Snipes here. So there may be a battle for a podium spot. We've got Liccardo around at the final corner. There's a bit of mayhem back there. And we've got Termo and Teglass duking it out. So Teglass has done a fantastic job, up 11 spots here, forcing Turmo to go defensive into turn 1. But we'll just have a look and see what has happened to Dane Liccardo down here. So he's got Rossi alongside him here, and he's just made contact with the door of Rossi, lost his momentum. Cecil's driven through him, and because, well, Cecil had nowhere to go, and, well, that's cost him there. So a little bit too aggressive, trying the old chop, and, well, he got a bit cut up himself there as G-Taz and Taipan duke it out, and Alvarez and Cecil are also duking it out here. And Cracker, he's done a great job to find himself in 7th spot, up 8. Don't see him in too many races in ASR/AMSLs anymore, but it's good to see him back out there. Doesn't race in every series like he used to back in the day, but still, he's having a good run here ahead of Rossi, who significantly improved since qualifying. And, well, that's one way for a drive at the DNF, just seeing that Lockie Burke's retired due to his dog unplugging his wheel mid-race. That is a first. I wonder if it ate his homework as well. And now on the final lap. And got Snipes coming up to Melody Smith, and Snipes has got Noah Tara for company. So I want Melody Smith to get out of the way. It sort of balks Snipes just a little bit, but Tara's close enough for a big dive here. If he's just able to get a good run through Cole Corner, or a decent enough run, he might just fire it down there, because that's what you got to do. He's close enough. Tim Redmond will win, barring some cataclysmic mistake. Geez, it'd be funny if he rolled. He's not rolled, and Tim Redmond will win. Snipes, he's going to hold on to second here. But Noah Tara had to fight his way through and did a good job of being able to put Snipes under pressure. But probably one more lap and he would have had him. Turmo will hold on to 4th ahead of Scott Nolan. So I'm not sure what has happened to Teglass on that final lap there. And Cracker is up into, who finished 7th ahead of Brendan Ross. Christian Alvarez has done a good job to start from the back of the field to finish in 9th. Matt Cecil will round out the top 10 ahead of Taipan. And it looks like some drivers still racing hard out there despite the race being over. Got Dane Liccardo in 12th. There's a bit of a roadblock out there, trying to hold on desperately to 4th place after, well, an ambitious dive on lap 1. And then we have Luke Joyner in 13th place. Greg Tara in 14th. He'll be a little bit annoyed. He had pace and then rolled at the final corner. So rest in peace, Greg Tara, in the chat, please. Plenty of Fs. And Darren Lachlan home in 15th. Lockie Lock home in 16th place. Walsh of the Brian variety home in 17th ahead of Glenn Miles. So bragging rights there. Mike Coulston home in 19th. We did see him in the gravel trap very early on. Melody Smith home in 20th. Lockie Burke, of course, with those dog-related issues, meant he finished down with a non-finish in 21st. Nathan Higginson burnt out his tyres pretty early on and, well, didn't finish. 22nd. Rhodey in 23rd. Not sure what happened to him either. And that rounds out the field. So I'll have to go and just have a look on my screen here and see how these... Well, Nathan Higginson has blown an engine. Now, I'm not... Rhodey also blew an engine here. Now, I don't know what's happened to Rhodey. Maybe he's accidentally clicked too many times on his wheel. But Nathan Higginson, I know for sure, was saying these engines in the practice session. I overheard him. Wasn't saying anything. I was just listening to the drivers, how they're going. And Nathan Higginson, these engines are really reliable. You know, you can pound them quite hard. And, you know, you can block downshift from 5th down to 2nd. And he's blown his engine on the 3rd lap. So my guess is you can't go from 5th to 2nd on every lap at every braking zone, and he's found that out the hard way. So rest in peace, Nathan Higginson. Have fun starting from the back of the field. All right, now I'm not going to be doing any driver interviews for this series because it's just a fun series, and you know, when there's driver interviews, people go and take it too seriously. Got to talk themselves up or have a crack at other people in the comments and all that stuff. So not happening. Instead, I'm going to roast people that aren't racing. So Rhodey, you DNF'd. what are you doing? Blown an engine on lap 1. I hope it was just a double downshift, which can happen on Logitech wheels from time to time. Higo just had a roast up. Not sure, well, dog-related issues for Lockie Burke. I mean, those that have been in Discord channel with him know that his dogs can go a little bit berserk from time to time. Those yappy little things. Mike Coulston, 11 of 13. Not sure what happened there, but we did see him in the gravel trap. No longer based in Saudi Arabia, now back home in the United Kingdom. What is frustrating, though, is we don't have the likes of, say, Luke Rosella out there racing. He's just not racing, just not having a crack. He's having a go at me for not having a crack in the comments I see, but I'm broadcasting this series. I'm running this series and enjoying myself while you're doing nothing on a Friday night except for, watching pixels. So you're the one not having a crack. But anyway, race 1 over and done with. I've got to go and set the grid for race number 2. Of course, it is progressive. So for those that did finish at the back or didn't finish at all, good luck and have fun. See you soon. And we are back for the second race of the ASR Summer Series at Wanneroo Raceway Historic. And we saw some interesting racing in race number 1. What will race 2 have in store for these championship combatants? Got 5 minutes left. Obviously, drivers given 10 minutes in the warm-up, which is actually quite a long time to go and get themselves sorted. May have to put a post in the chat to ask if everyone is ready to comment and tick it over. But Tim Redmond taking race 1 ahead of NZ Snipes and Noah Tara. But after that, it was pure anarchy. And just seeing in the live chat why Luke Rosella isn't racing. Oh, he's got to get some seat time in the iRacing V8. Well, I don't know how you can watch this and concentrate on getting seat time in the iRacing V8 at the same time.
Off the bandies.
And we've got Brendan Ross has jumped in here. I may have to revoke his admin rights from the server, so he can't just jump in here unannounced like that. But yeah, quite disappointing that we haven't got a driver of Luke Rosella's caliber in the field. But clearly, finishing 22nd in an iRacing race is more important than having a crack in what is the pinnacle of well, it's not even just sim racing, but the pinnacle of motorsport is race 2 at the 2006 version of Barbagallo Raceway in what is essentially 1980s road cars. So disappointing, but that's just Luke Rosella for you. He's just full of disappointment. One thing that is encouraging, though, is just having a look at the live timing in the server currently is a number of drivers have dipped into the 13.1s, which is quite close to the outright fastest time we saw in practice, which was, of course, done by Tim Redmond. He was able to set a 1 minute 12.8, I believe, or 7. We've got Noah Tara and Christian Alvarez not too far away. Of course, Alvarez missed qualifying, had to start from the back of the field, but he'll start a lot closer in the second race here. In fact, let me just check the batch file and find out where. So Alvarez is able to get himself into the top 10 and finish in 9th place. So that kind of pace, we could see him challenging a podium position. Probably going to be a bit difficult for him unless we do see Redmond and Snipes and perhaps another car all duke it out at the front to get himself back into race winning contention. But that pace is certainly encouraging. Noah Tara, on the other hand, 13.1, he'll start from 3rd position on the grid. That's very encouraging for him and his chances. But of course, doing it in practice and a warm-up session is one thing. Doing it in a race is the other, as we've seen many heroes in practice and qualifying sessions in sim racing and real life over the years. They get to a race session and, well, they just suck. So because they've been putting all their energy into harnessing that one lap, that they don't have the energy or the concentration to string more than 2 laps together in a row. Now, bear with me here. Just got to check up on the live scores of the cricket. Day-night test matches. I don't know why they do them, but here we are. And for those wondering, Australia 6 down for 241 with Stark and Carey at the crease. And unfortunately, Cameron Green couldn't get to a ton. He made 74, but still, that's the best he's looked all series long. He didn't look like he was going to block everything. Instead, he had some kind of intent, and quite incredible when you look to score that the game completely transforms, and he's found that out. Unfortunately, Hamid will probably never find that out for England, but I don't mind playing an English side that, well, their number 11 is better than their number 1, so hopefully he can stay in the test team for another 15 years. But, yeah, minute left in the warm-up. Noah Tara and Alvarez leading the way, leading the charge. And then we have Greg Tara in third, having a big crack here in the final corner. And he's going to go and set a 13.4, which is not too bad, not too shabby for the old man, but he's still slower than his son Noah. And I'm just going to go through and have a look at live races. And Greg Tara at 13.385 is his personal best, so still not quite at his dizzying heights. And Rossi 96 in the live chat asking what position I want him to finish in race 2, and anything other than a win will be disappointing, if I'm being perfectly honest. So Rossi, if you don't just fire it up the inside at Cole Corner and get into the lead, I'll be disappointed. And well, Hans, the things you know, eh? There you go. Everybody's full of surprises as Turret goes into P3. Doesn't improve by much there. But Christian Alvarez, might call him James Bond because he is 007 behind Noah Turret. He'll be hoping to pop some caps into these drivers in front of him. That is for sure. As I've got a car there having a big crack there at the final corner, doing their best to kill themselves. Not sure who that was. To zoom in and find out who that was actually. Let's have a look. That is Rhodey, in fact, having a big crack there. Not sure if he rolled. The game does do some funny things when cars tip over. In an online session, in single player probably would show if he did roll it that he rolled, but multiplayer, when a car rolls over, it doesn't always show it. So sometimes it just shows them levitating. As we see, Aaron Loughnane 14.3 in practice. And we're moments away from race number 2. Yep. Just run the old batch file again to make sure it's going to work. Hopefully it works alright and everybody is in the correct position. Either way, it's just a fun series, so it shouldn't matter all that much, but I'm sure there'll be someone that'll cry foul, like the Indian cricket team, whenever they don't get a result or decision going their way. Always think the world is against them, even though they've got 2 billion people. And still only, out of those 2 billion people, find 11 players mildly competitive compared to other major cricketing nations with, well, not even a quarter of their population. But here we are. We're playing the waiting game now. Everybody just syncing up. So here it is. This is everybody syncing up here. Session's ticked over. No cars on the right hand side there. And there it is. There is the glorious hot air balloon steam edition, travelling faster than anything these cars are capable of. Fortunately, they didn't put any people in it as well. That would have been pretty cool, but still, nice little touch. There weren't many good touches in race number 1 for a number of the drivers, with some dinged up panels, but they've just pressed escape, skipped a few sessions, and their cars are good as gold again until the end of the formation lap, where Tim Redmond leads them away. He'll start from, of course, first position, with races being progressive grid, with NZ Snipes right behind him. Noah Tara looking to get a better start and put those front 2 Kiwis under a bit of pressure. Turmo did a good job as well to find himself in 4th place, just ahead of Scott Nolan too. He'll be hoping to go a couple better in this one. Laszlo Teglas, one of the men to look out for, did start towards the back of the field after a poor qualifying showing, but showing his true form in the race. He'll start from 6th. Cracker had a cracker of a race, so able to come home in 7th place, just keeping it clean and tidy, just like Brendan Ross, driving normally, and got a good result, even if he may not have been the fastest out there. Another man to watch, Christian Alvarez. He'll start from 9th place for Shadow Tevez Racing, with Matt Cecil rounding out the top 10 again. Taipan will start from 11th in this one. Dane Liccardo in 12th, ahead of Luke Joyner, who, well, in the race has had a bit of an adventure, and, well, he's gone for another one there, as did Aaron Loughlin. Greg Tara, he's got pace in that car, but threw it off the road, and, well, had to do it the hard way, getting a couple positions back and then lost out at the end. He'll start 14th ahead of Darren Loughlin, who just went for an adventure. Lockie Lock, again, he was wiped out on the first lap by, well, not on the first lap, but early on, by Nathan Higginson, who's up for murder charges down there. Brian Walsh, he'll start in 17th ahead of his biggest rival, Glenn Miles. Mike Coulson will be hoping to get to the finish in this one and not beach it in the gravel trap at the final corner. Melody Smith in 20th. The murderer himself will start in 21st place ahead of Rhodey in 22nd, with Lockie Burke in 23rd. Now, looks like he's jumped in late after running the batch file, so that's why he's last and not a couple of positions ahead of those guys. But lights are on. They've all jumped in the grid slots perfectly for once. Why can't they do that any other time? And away we go. And Will Snipes get the jump again. And, well, a little bit of door banging here in a turn 1. He'll have the inside. He'll try and fire it down there. Will we see Ambrose Scaife? No, we won't. That's pretty bloody boring, if I'm being honest, down now. And, well, cars side by side there. One of the Shadow Tevez cars off on the outside, and we've got G-Tuz, I think that was off the circuit there as well on the inside. So he started 14th, now finds himself down in 18th, and now he's got Higginson alongside him as well. But Redmond leads the way ahead of Snipes and Turmo. Noah Tara, a little bit of warping there. He's just ahead of Scott Nolan too, and Laszlo Teglas. Got Brendan Ross now up into 7th place, looking to make a move on Teglas. Teglash, but doesn't get it done. He's got Liccardo right behind him now. Cracker keeping a watchful eye, and then of course his big rival from race 1, Matt Cecil, not too far away either. And Lockie Lock already up 4 spots, as we saw Alvarez wide there. So he's being bullied here on this first lap. Isn't able to get into a rhythm. Not sure if it's just him making mistakes or him being nudged wide. Once again, a big dive. Glenn Miles at the final corner. Bit of a nudge. Teglas maintaining that momentum and holding on. So see Scott Nolan there, defensive into turn 1, 2 and 3 wide there in the mid pack, and 4 wide there with Lockie Burke, Greg Tara, and Aaron Loughlin there. But all of them living to fight another day. Smith is just off the back, but everyone else is consumed in a battle. As we've got Turmo all over the back of Snipes, and Snipes going defensive, as was Redmond. And Turmo going to try and go around the outside of Cole Corner. A bit of a slide on here, but he might be able to maintain the rage around the outside. This will be some move Now, will he get any kind of slipstream? We'll ride on board and find out. And it's neck and neck. They've both got a good run on Tim Redmond, who hasn't quite got the top speed. A bit of contact. Termo being caught up on Redmond there, and Snipes now into the lead. Termo into second, and now Nolan is into play as well. And I would expect these drivers behind, if they get a sniff of Redmond as their cars all over the place there, that they'll just fire it down there. There's Lockie Burke sideways. I think that's Rhodey sideways as well. And there's Termo. He's dropped behind Redmond again. And now Nolan looking to make his way into third place. But what's going on further back? Once again, Liccardo, a bit of a roadblock here. He's ahead of Cracker with Matt Cecil, Taipan and Luke Joyner all battling to the death down there for, well, 11th place. But they think it's a world championship down there. Unfortunately for them in Formula One world, it's not even a points paying position, but they're racing hard as Luke Joyner now looking to get into 10th place. And Matt Cecil deep on the brakes. Joyner has forced the mistake, but he's also gone wide himself, as has Taipan, and Locke might have the best run of all of them here. Same with Higginson. They've both had the best run out of all these cars in the midfield. Bit of contact with Higginson. I don't know why turned left there into the corner panel, or the rear end of Taipan there, and he's lost all his momentum. That cost him dearly. And a little bit of warping there for Matt Cecil is a bit awkward. He's bit of contact with Taipan. Cecil almost rolling it. But just have another look at that on the replay and see what the hell happened there. There's Taipan, a bit of warping, and then he's just cut across the inside of the track there. Some interesting driving. I don't know if he just lost the rear end, but at the front, Redmond and Snipes duking it out here with Nolan now ahead of Termo, and Noah Tara looking to finally get back into that podium contending position after not an ideal first couple laps. And Redmond looking to make a move on Snipes at Cole Corner, and he isn't quite close enough to get the job done, but looks like he's got the momentum, at least for now. But we did see the top speed did sort of fall away there in the car that he's driving. These cars aren't all the exact same physics. There are slight flaws or pros and cons for each of them. There's contact between the two Kiwis at the front. It's going to allow Nolan and Termo to get a little bit closer. There's contact between Teglash and Liccardo there in the background. And a bit of a pack as well, running wide. And we've got a car off in the boonies down there. Who is that? That is Rhodey, has gone for a Russell Coit adventure, and just like many of Russell Coit's adventures, it hasn't turned out well, and I reckon he's rolled it again, or at least got on two wheels, but he's in 22nd now after what was an actually fairly solid run. Alvarez has gone backwards in this one, maybe nursing some kind of issue. Lockie Burke battling hard with Higginson, who's wobbling all over the place as normal, and a little bit of door banging between those two, and Lockie Burke gets it done. And G-Tars, he's had a horror run so far in this one. And Tara looking to make a move at Cole Corner on Higginson. Higginson able to hold on. A little bit squirmish through the mid part of the corner. Got Glenn Miles off in the boonies as well, doing some lawn mowing. And Lockie Burke's not had a good exit out of Cole Corner, and now they're going to go three wide into the final corner. Or at least they should. It'll be entertaining. They're not going to do it. Pussies. There's contact, though, between Tara and Higginson. And, Lochner almost runs into Higginson there. Out of sympathy. And it's going to be awkward for Higginson here. And we've got Miles has blown his engine. And he's got a barbecue down there. The fans have got their snags. They've jumped over the fence and starting to make some sausages and burgers for themselves down there. They just don't have any bread. As once again, I'm being fucking spam botted. May have to just disable live fucking chat here. But at the front though, Tim Redmond is in the lead. So that's disappointing for a race competitive point of view. But we may see these guys hopefully band together and try to help each other out and put him under pressure, but way they're going, they're all going to battle and just let Redmond get away again. As Snipes tries to defend on the inside. Nolan too is going to try and go around the outside. And very wide there from Redmond, as was Teglash as well. And Liccardo. Liccardo, in fact, may lose a position out of that to Cracker. Indeed, he will. The Snipes holds on to the inside. He's deep on the brakes. Nolan too's deep under brakes. Turmo keeping a watchful eye. But Snipes holds on, and Redmond edges away. Just bear with me here. Just going to try and moderate this YouTube live chat here. But big battling going on here. Turmo and Nolan not really working together. So here we go, might see some three wide action here. Toa looking up the inside, Rossi around the outside though. Into 5th place. And Cracker and Liccardo duking out a little bit further back as well. Redmond continues to lead ahead of Snipes and Nolan too. Nolan too will be hoping just for a bit of clear air. There's two Kiwis in front to duke it out just a little bit. And to get himself into play here. Fastest lap of the race is actually 1 minute 12.9 from Christian Alvarez, but he finds himself down there in 16th position as Rossi up into 4th place now, but he's got Turmo and Noatara right there. Turmo's going to try and go around the outside of Cold Corner. He's got it sideways. Can he maintain the momentum? It's brought Teglash into play. Noatara might have the best run of all of them here, and a little bit further ahead. Also got Nolan not too far away from the two Kiwis. So this is what we wanted, battling at the front and throughout the field. So we've got a front group of 7, with a little gap between the first 3 to the next pair of 4. Bit of a gap to Liccardo in 8th, the mobile roadblock. And once again, another wide mistake there from Liccardo is going to allow all those cars behind him into play. We've got Nolan, fastest lap of the race, 12.8, so the slipstream quite powerful, it seems, in these cars. Either that or he's just getting into a rhythm. A little bit further back, though. Cracker looking for the little switchback. Can't quite get it done because of a bit of a turn down there from Liccardo. So if Cracker just fenced him in the next corner, I'd be fine with it. That's what you get for turning down to me. But he's got Lachlan Lock all over his back as once again Liccardo sideways. And, well, at some point, these guys, maybe they are just keeping their foot flat because these cars are just gutless. It just kills the momentum anyway, and they don't fence the other guy. So, false these guys, stuff them, just drive through them. But here we go. Joyner, he's now looking to make a move on Cracker in front. But Cracker loses it under brakes and runs into Liccardo. So a bit of 10-pin bowling, and Joyner might get them both here. He's going to have a decent run out of Cold Corner. Lockie Lock is also well poised here. Got Snipes into the lead as well, and Redmond's just taken it back. I'm seeing on my left-hand side, but we've got some good battling here as well for the minor placings. And Taipan straight up the inside ahead of Cracker as well. Lachlan Lock's got a good run out of the final corner. Liccardo's going to go defensive and right to the inside. But need to see some gamesmanship out there and force some of these guys into some compromising positions. Maybe a little bit of front to rear contact if driver's going to go super defensive. A little bit ahead though, we have the mother of all battles for 5th place. Brendan Ross holding on to Turmo and Teglash, and then ahead of them, this is it, the battle for the lead. Tim Redmond has got himself into the lead. Snipes did lead for a moment, and Scott Nolan is also now into 2nd place. He's got Teglash going on a bit of an adventure there in the background. But here we go. Nolan's had a poor run out of Cold Corner, but it seems his car just has that slight edge in top speed. And here we go. Noah Tara just blocked off there a little bit from Tara, from Nolan too, who's looking to get a move done. Nolan going to look to go around the outside, where we've seen drivers pull it off with the momentum before. Got Tegla's very wide at the final corner. And they're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. It looks like Licardo's having a bit of a different barge battle with Joyner. He's lost out there in the background, but we're 3 wide into turn 1. And who's going to come out on top? It's not going to be Snipes. It's going to be Nolan 2 just with Noah Tara. Thought he was going to get it for a moment, but Nolan 2 holds on, and he's just got to focus now. Try and break away from Noah Tara and NZ Snipes and try and put Tim Redmond under pressure. And, well, he's not had the most ideal middle sector here. But may get a little bit of slipstream. We'll just cut a little bit further back, see what else is going on in this one. So Joyner has got ahead of Liccardo, who's once again sideways. Behind them, we've got Lockie Lock, Taipan, and G-Tuz all duking it out. So G-Tuz just starting to come alive finally after a bit of a slow start in this one. We also got Lockie Burke in there, who's not afraid to send it as well. And Cracker's at the back of that. But being the most sensible one out of a lot of them, it seems, he may pick up all these positions if they all just fence each other. And Liccardo, Joyner again duking it out, both of them wide, a little bit of contact between the two. Liccardo on the outside hoping for the better run. Joyner will have the inside, and we've also got Locke having a look as well into turn 1, but not quite close enough. And he's going to think better of it. Taipan's going to go 3 wide into turn... Oh, sorry, Tara's going to go 3 wide. And, oh, there's contact between Liccardo and... Joyner. Just cut to a replay there because I was actually looking at just something else. So let's just have a look. So, well, Liccardo's turned in on Joyner. Joyner's gone over the curb as a result, and then he's just then half rolled into Liccardo, who's gone into the fence. So I'd say that's just karmic justice. That worked there. That's what you get for turning down on someone. But here we go. Scott Nolan right behind Tim Redmond, with a lap and a corner to go. This could be like a Formula V race here, where it just comes down to, well, who wants to lead coming into the final corner with the way the slipstream has been working in this race. But Nolan wants the lead, and he's got it for now. This will count as a lap led as they get the white flag. 1 lap to go. It's Scott Nolan 2 ahead of Redmond and Noah Tara. So Snipes has dropped back. Tara all over the road looking to force a mistake from Tim Redmond, who's normally unflappable. So here we go. We have seen Redmond be quite strong the first and middle sectors, but what can he manage here? There's a little bit further back. Rossi behind Snipes duking it out as well. Was told to win this race. Mega defensive driving from Snipes here on the final lap. We've got Redmond looking to go around the outside at Cole Corner. Could open the door here for Noah Tara to sneak up on both the 2 cars in front here. They're going to go side by side here. Redmond and Nolan 2. And I would imagine we'll see a dive from Noah Tara as well. But here we go. We've got yellows out down there. I don't give a stuff around the outside. Redmond's going to try. He's wide and he's going to join them. He's going to join them. He's going to struggle to get out. He might have the momentum, but he's going to drop back. Nolan will win. Noah Tara will be second, and Snipes will hold on into third. Rossi, you have been sacked for finishing in fourth when you, well, I said you had to win the race. And Turmo home in 5. Teglash home in 6th place ahead of Tim Redmond after that last lap dive around the outside. The battle for 8th place was won by Lachlan Locke ahead of Taipan, followed by Joyner and Lockie Burke. Cracker home in 12th place, with Greg Tara home in 13th. Bit of a disastrous race for him, that one. Aaron Lachlan home in 14th ahead of Christian Alvarez, who I was tipping to be pretty handy after his race 1 heroics, but just not to be. A little bit bullied early on in this one, and then just couldn't quite get into a good rhythm. He'll come home in 15th ahead of Mike Coulston in 16th, Melody Smith in 17th. Higginson able to finished this time, albeit 47 seconds off the pace. Home in 18th. Cecil Matt, that is, home in 19th, ahead of Rhodey. So something's happened to Matt Cecil in the mid part of that race. It saw him drop down the field. Dane Licata home in 21st. Not sure what happened to him. Did see him go. Oh no, sorry, no, we did see what happened to him down there at turn 1. He obviously couldn't quite get it out of the gravel trap after that contact with Joyner. We have Walsh home a lap down in 22nd. And the only non-finisher in this one, Glenn Miles. So we saw some fantastic racing in that one. And some, well, interesting dives. And we also saw karmic justice. It doesn't happen very often where a driver will make a probably not a good decision in just turning down on someone, and then they're the ones that get served. So, you know, it exists. Who'd have thought? But, yeah, some great racing out there. That's race 2. And just imagine, we've got 2 of these things to go. So, a lot of racing. I'm losing my voice already. I'm not going to be able to talk tomorrow. But, well, as long as I'm entertaining people, which I'm not. But as long as everybody's having a good time, I guess that's the main thing. But anyway, we'll take a break. But we will be back for race number 3 in the biggest series in the world. Don't go anywhere. And we are back. Guessing when I was typing that at some stage I unmuted myself, but now I'm back within the confines of the stream. And yeah, warm-up session, 9 minutes to go. Had some good racing so far. And well, it's been very intriguing 2 races so far. Race 2 going down to the wire for the win, as well as for many other places as well. Some good hard racing, some silly racing, some karmic justice. But what we haven't seen yet is what we've all come to tune in to see or to watch, and that is the big one. We want the big one. We want, out of 23 cars, we want all 23 cars involved in one of the biggest sim racing crashes of all time. That is what we want to see, and we want it in race number 3. The big one. It's got to happen. Doesn't matter how it happens, who causes it, why, but it'd be fantastic to see like 7 cars on their roofs, the front runners all towards the back of the field because they're beaching the gravel trap, and it just mixes the whole thing up. That'd be great. And then we just get some random winner that you don't expect to come through and win Australia's greatest motor race. But yeah, still 6.5 minutes away. Unfortunately, can't skip ahead because for some people in Queensland, not pointing to anyone in particular, Matt Cecil, it's their tea time. Now, it's currently 9:37 here in the state of Victoria. Obviously, those in Queensland are backwards and don't have, they don't have daylight savings, so, they're just wrong. So, 8:30, 8:40, it's still a very late dinner. I'm partial to a late dinner, but I'm not going to do it on a race night. So, unless it's takeaway, Matt, that's unacceptable. Choice of acceptable takeaway or fast food as well is another thing. If you're just getting McDonald's, it's just not worth it. Just not worth it. So let's hope that it's, you're eating something good. Chicken palmy, maybe. I don't know, some pizza, some good Chinese. I don't know, but it just can't be Macca's if it's takeaway, and it can't just be just some veggies and chips and I don't know, poorly done steak. But put the gauntlet down to a lot of drivers in the warm up to try and maybe roll over roadie. No one's done it so far. Now I do know that there has to be, there always is people in these live streams, whether it's mine or Outworld Broadcasting, ASC, or wherever. There's always that 1 or 2 people that do go and you've got the stream playing in the background. Not going to name names like Rody or Dan Liccardo, Lockie Burke. Any of those guys. They don't. Well, no, they do it. And there we go. Snipes has hit Rhodey there, but he's hit the wrong side of him, my friend. And he's also taken out Mike Coulson as well. Problem is, you're not going to roll him by doing that. What you got to do is you've got to race Rhodey into that final corner, and you've just got to fire it down the inside, or just turn in on him at the point of the curb. We've seen drivers hit that curb. Rhodey himself has knocked the mirrors off a couple times by getting it on two wheels. So you've got to just fire it down the inside, at the inside there, or the outside. Either get him on the curb or just plow into the side of him and get him up on those two wheels. So that's something that in the warm-up we'd like to see. But that is if Rhodey goes out there. He might just pussyfoot it and just sit there in the pits and do nothing. So look at these interesting camera views. Yes, look at these massive tractor tyres in extreme 32-bit quality. Yeah, that is detail. That is detail in 2006/7. That is. You may not like it, but that is what peak performance looks like in 2006. This is a very funky camera view, but it is picking up this magnificent air vehicle. But going back to the pits here, try and find Petroleum. Do wonder if he's left the pits. We're going to go looking for him here. See if he's just parked it up. Many moons ago, we did see Garth Tander, I think it was, or trying into or it might be Murph, I can't remember. One of those former Holden drivers, early 2000s, almost into the pits backwards. Rossi's saying to go and watch him, so we're not going to watch him. Got Turmo, I think that's Turmo down there. And Lachlan. Now, where is Rhodey is the big question. 2 minutes to go in the session. Is he still just parked up here? If he is, I might just boot him from the server myself. No, it looks like he's out on the circuit. Good. But that's Laszlo Teglash there doing a practice start. No, Rhodey is out on the circuit. This is good to see. Out there having a crack. We'll just have a quick squeeze at whatever Rossi's doing. He's probably just parked it in the pit. Oh, good cracker down there. I don't know if he's just parked it there to try and cause an accident, or maybe doing a practice start in a downhill section. He might just be trying to cause the big one there. So keep an eye out here. See if someone just comes over the rise with nowhere to go. Problem is, these cars are so slow that you're going to have about 10 minutes to react. He's got to be about 50 metres early down the road there. And there's Rhodey. Bang! Well, he's had 2 minutes to make a decision as the VB sign goes flying. And that's what fucking VB deserves, because it is fucking piss. It stinks. Tastes like garbage, and that is what those signs deserve. Only good for braking markers. Don't buy that fucking garbage drink. But Rhodey still hasn't been rolled over, so all these guys in the server, you all suck. It doesn't matter if you've won championships. It doesn't matter if you've won 20 or 30 races. It doesn't matter if you've raced in a Scops race. It doesn't matter. You've not rolled over Rhodey. You've not caused #rollodium. Or Roldium. You just haven't done it. This is just disappointing, as we've got car 27, Brian Walsh, beached in the gravel trap. He's not getting out of there. That's Mark Scaife in, I'm trying to think what year that was, 2004 maybe. That tangle with Ambrose down there, and he is beached. He's not getting out of there. Get a spade and bucket and the suntan lotion. You're not going anywhere. But the session's over. That's disappointing. Still got Walsh. That is a picturesque sight, actually. I might just take a screenshot of that. Might even make that my desktop background with the magnificent FA-18 hot air balloon and Walshy there parked in the gravel trap. That is just serenity. But here we go, Rhodey having a crack here. He's got, I think that's Turmo behind him. And just park it in the middle of the road because he doesn't want to get sent. But not had a good run there through turn one. At least these guys are having a crack out there. All these other guys just stuck in the pits. Handsies. But here we go. I think it's just ticked over. No, it hasn't ticked over. Got cars down the final corner. It's Lockie Burke. Every time I look at that, think of the I think it's Thirsty Camel, one of those shops that, or Bottlos, that isn't Bottlo, that serves alcohol. Down there with the green and red writing. So none of these drivers just sitting in the pits now. Session is over. Looks like it's about to tick over. No, still out here. So the settings for the server may need a slight tweak. No, there we go. So we can go back to the magnificent splash screen that Brendan Ross completely fucked up. Not realising what circuit was being used. Didn't download the track pack, just downloaded the cars. And took these screenshots. Now, it's a nice screenshot, but it's the wrong bloody track. So, 0 out of 10, Brendan Ross. You don't even get a 1 for effort. You had one job, and you stuffed it. I'm surprised you didn't put, has been Sim Network down the bottom. Instead of loose Sim Network. But, yeah, just really disappointing. And it has ruined my day. But actually, not a very long sync this time around, which is good to see. Oh wait, no, I've spoken too soon. And now I've got Rossi speaking to me in French. Oui. No, Rossi, I don't speak French. But now we wait. But one thing that is interesting. Now you'll notice this isn't a realistic camera view, but I've just noticed for the first time the grid positions of these cars don't match up with the actual boxes. Now, I did make changes to the textures, but I didn't edit where the actual grid positions were, so I may need to go through at some point when we use this circuit later on to edit the AIW file so it is in the correct position. Even if they are closer together, that's what we want to see. What we want to see is just cars close together, Dean Fiore fireball. That is what we want to see. But here we are. Might as well run through the grid here, and we've got the second best Scott Nolan starting from first in this one after a scintillating drive in race number 1 ahead of an ever-improving Noah Tara who's edging his way forward. Can he break through for the win here in race number 3? Enter Snipes in third place. He's been close, but not quite good enough in the races so far, but still good night for him. He'll start third ahead of Brendan Ross and Turmo, who are battling out here on the formation lap ahead of Laszlo Teglash. Then we have Tim Redmond, costly error at the end of the last one. He'll start 7th. Lockie Lock in 8th. Taipan will start in 9th place ahead of Lockie Burke and Cracker with Greg Tara there as well. Got Naren Lachlan well out of position, and hopefully he doesn't carry this kind of formation lap form into Super 3 and Super 2, because he'll find some penalties coming his way if he doesn't stick to the order. But Christian Alvarez, he'll start in 14th. He'll hopefully repeat his race 1 effort in going forward instead of backward. Mike Coulson will start 15th ahead of Melody Smith. Good race for her in the last one. Nathan Higginson will be hoping for a little bit better luck and some better driving here in race number 3. So he almost bins it on his way to the pits. Cecil is at a very slow formation lap. Perhaps he's had an adventure He's done it again on the formation lap. I don't know what's happened there. He'll start 18th ahead of Rhodey. Dane Liccardo will start 20th. Brian Walsh 21st. Glenn Miles 22nd. And we are missing a driver. And Matt Cecil has done a Giancarlo Fisichella and missed his grid box and had to reverse back. In real life, that would be a disqualification. But the lights are on. Who will get the jump into turn 1 as the smoke slowly wafts into the sky and these cars slowly make their way towards turn 1, and it will be Noah Turra into the lead ahead of Scott Nolan. Brendan Ross up the inside of Snipes. They're going to go side by side. We've not had a big wreck into turn 1. Darren Lachlan trying his best and Mike Coulston trying his best, but we're able to make it through as we go through the sweepers at turns 2 and 3. Massive curb usage from Turbo there. All cars are pretty much sideways there at turn 4. Look at them as they slowly wobble their way through this snaky section of Wanneroo Raceway, the historic layout, circa 2006. And Tara's got a very handy lead over Nolan, but behind him it is absolute pandemonium. As we've got, we've got a car off there. I think that was Cracker. It is Cracker. He's falling through the field. Redmond up one spot. He's going to make it 2 over Turmo. Teglass has lost a spot. And then we've got this clusterfuck of cars right behind Laszlo Teglass here. Cars all over the shop. Dive Bomb City. They're going to go side by side by side by side. Bit of Noah's Ark action down there. But Turra leads the way. He's got a handy gap now ahead of Nolan 2 and Ross. As we're 3 wide down the back here, Coulston, Miles and Walsh all duking it out, and Ryan Walsh is the loser there. Melody Smith has also had a bit of an adventure and gone off down there. Is already pretty much half a minute behind. But here it is. There's your leaders, and there's Lockie Burke on the grass as they go 3 wide through turn 4. And that's Taipan on 2 wheels, and that's Turra. That's Greg Turra, as he has died down there. So let's have a look. Oh, he got hit by Higginson after that, and then into the wall. It is 30% damage in these cars, but he may have damage. I've got Coulston around, and was that of his own doing, or did someone make a mistake in front of him and he was left with nowhere to go? No, he's a little bit wide. Oh dear, that was an unsafe rejoin. He's a young fella, old Darren. But going to have to learn pretty quick. Those kinds of rejoins in real life can get yourself hurt or killed, or someone else killed and hurt. And in the sim community here at ASR, that will probably, well, not so much in this series, but in the more serious series, that will probably end up with you being handed a disqualification. But here we are, Nolan 2, second away from Turra. But he's trying to fend off Brendan Ross and Snipes. Redmond's got himself up into P5. Teglass has actually stayed with him here in P6, and behind him, Lockie Lock up the spot, slowly making his way up after a horrendous early incident in race 1 has scuppered his night so far. And we've got Nolan off at the bowl, but he's able to not lose too much time or get beached in the gravel trap. So what's happened here? Bit of bump drafting with Rossi, and he's been turned. He's been turned by Rossi, and I would hope that Scott Nolan too gives Rossi the treatment, both in the Discord and if he when he catches him later on this race. Hopefully he just sends him to the moon. But see cars bouncing it from the curbs all over the place there. Turra's got this race in the bag, so might as well just check out all the other cars there. And well, can Redmond get himself back up to the front? But he's got a bit of work to do. And Rossi, as we've seen, not afraid to just punt people out of the way. But that's helped a number of drivers, like Laszlo Teglass here, getting in a solid run. Lockie Lock now also in a good spot, and Alvarez has had a good run, up 7 spots. But Lockie Burke now making a move. Big dive, turn 4. And Alvarez trying to get out-muscled by Taipan, but he closes the door, and then Taipan is getting out-muscled by Turbo here. Could see a drama here. And, oh, contact again. Taipan seems to have magnets all over his cars because all he wants to do is just, well, hit anything with metal on it at the moment. But here we go. Nolan, Taipan, and Turbo. These three do not like each other. And they're going to go 3 wide here. And we've got yellows out there at the final corner. Who is off? Who is off? It's Redmond. He's gone. Tim Redmond has gone. He's gone off at the last corner again. What's happened here? He's ran into the back of Rossi, lost the rear end under brakes, and he is gone. He is out of here. He is down to 21st. He's setting the pace all night long, but that final corner has killed him tonight. So, done all the hard yards in this one, got himself into a decent position. Now it's got to do it all over again, but here we go. It's Nolan 2 who's actually dropped down a few, well, sorry, he's making his way back up after going off here earlier on due to Brendan Ross's inability to brake. And up the inside goes Nolan on Taipan, a little bit more contact. Both of them going to lose out here. And Turbo is going to say thank you very much. And they're going to go 3 wide on the exit here. Look at this high speed action. 105 kilometers per month. And Turbo, does he make it stick on the inside? Nolan's going to go around the outside. Very wide, as well as Taipan. Looking to maintain the rage. And here we go. Alvarez now. He's actually dropped a couple of spots since we last saw him. Up the inside of Turbo. Doesn't quite make it stick. A little bit of light contact there. We've got Taipan around. Taipan is around. So the snake has gone to its natural habitat of the weeds there. Now, was there any kind of contact with Nolan? Big dive up the inside. No, he's just driven it straight off the road and to his own demise there. Drove himself to Auschwitz there. So see you later. But Noah Tara is checked. He's checked out. He is checked out and gone. He's on MH370 right now. He is just gone. You cannot find him. Got Snights there in second place ahead of Rossi. Those guys are having a pretty boring race, it has to be said. But Lockie Burke, the action man at the moment, is just firing it down the inside everywhere. And he's having a good battle here with Laszlo Teglas. Got Liccardo and Alvarez in the background. Also very, very wide at the final corner. And Alvarez coming out on top. Just cut back to a replay and see what happened here. So they took to make it 3 wide. Turbo's gone around the outside. And, well, if Alvarez wasn't there, we'll see you later. Liccardo, he would have rolled over for sure. But, actually, what's happened to Scott Nolan 2 here? He's in the gravel trap. Scott Nolan 2 is in the gravel trap, and that is why he's only the second best Scott Nolan out there. What has happened here? Has he been served? Or, no, he's just lost it on his own. And that is the second best at work. Oh, and he's driven it straight back into the gravel trap. Big mistake. Big, big mistake. And he's having to clutch it out. But Lockie Burke now, let's go back to the front. In 4th place is big power slide from Teglas there. Shades of 1980s rally there. But the big battle pack involves Nathan Higginson, who's up 11 spots here. Surprised I haven't seen him blow an engine or crash yet. Perhaps that's coming. He's in 7th ahead of Alvarez, Turbo and Liccardo. We did see in the background there, Rhodey having a bit of an adventure. Let's ride on board. In fact, let's go into the mind of Rhodey. And here he is. I think he's just thinking of the livery he's going to run in Super 3 this year and what driver he's going to sign. Oh, that's a curb. And that's the gravel trap. And that's the wall. Damn it. And he's just powered his way out there. So Rhodey, again, in a decent position, and then he's thrown it off the road as he power slides his way through turn 4. But further ahead, Tara, Greg that is, back up to 11th. He's got Cracker and Matt Cecil for company in Type N, looking to recover as well. And then further down the road, and we've got, to quote Saddam Hussein, the mother of all battles here, for 7th place. Higginson will defend to the death, or blow his engine or tyres trying. Alvarez just trying to recover. He's got good pace in that car, but can't make it work here. He's going to have to go the long way. He's got Turmo on his inside. Don't really want to be on the outside at turn 1, and you see why there. But he's going to try and get the old switchback. Can't quite make it stick. Didn't quite have the power or the run. Now Turmo snoring away the rear bar of Higginson for 7th here. Higginson all over the shop. A little bit wide on the exit of 4. It's going to compromise him here through 5. He hasn't got very good flow compo through there. And, well, he's lost out there. As you see the Cardo sideways there as well. He's had a good exit though, has Turmo. Alvarez, though, has had the best run of all of them coming out of Cole Corner. And we're going to go 3 wide here. Liccardo might be in the best position here, as all the cars in front of him will probably get a poor run. And he'll have the momentum into turn 1. And once again, a little bit of rubbing. And Alvarez a little bit wide there. Was a little bit caught out by a little bit of contact from Higginson, who just turned in despite there being a car alongside him. And that light bit of contact just throwing Alvarez off just a little bit. And again, contact on the way into the corner for Alvarez with Turmo. And Turmo's going to take that position away from him. I see Alvarez just fire it back up the inside there. I don't think he'll be too pleased with that one. And Liccardo chucking it up the inside and just bumping Alvarez out of the way. He's been too kind here, Alvarez. I'll just be firing these guys off at this point. Just bumping you out of the way. No respect at all. But it's good to see someone out there racing with a little bit of respect, unlike these other hooligans out there. It's got, again, the switch back on as we see. Look at that FA18 hot air balloon making high speed, low altitude passes. Compared to these cars, it is breaking the sound barrier 3 times. As Liccardo up the inside of the final corner. Alvarez sees it coming, going for the switchback again, and he's got a good run. And he should get that position, and he does. So smart driving from Alvarez. And he's got the run into turn 1. He's got to fire it down there. Maybe a little bit of a block pass, and he's done that, but he's done it... Well, he hasn't done it good enough. And Liccardo's been able to get ahead of both of them, and that's not what you want, because he won't let you by easy. And again, a bit of contact between Alvarez and Turmo, but these guys duking it out. And allowing Higginson to get away. At the front, though, we'll just look at that. Noah Turret in the lead. Entered Snipes in 2nd. Brendan Ross in 3rd. Gradually getting better and better as the night goes on. Got Lockie Burke ahead of Teglass. Their battle has been raging all race long. I haven't seen much of it because we've been looking at better battles on the circuit. And Lockie Lock also having a good run after being murdered by Nathan Higginson in race 1, and he's had to slowly make his way forward in this one. And we've got yellows out there, the final corner, and that's Glenn Miles. He is #beached down there. Still ahead of Scott Nolan, but not for long with him being beached down there. But here we go. Battle for the... Well, I won't say battle for the ages. But the mother of all battles rages on. Higginson ahead of Liccardo and Turmo. And a bit of contact there from Alvarez and Greg Tara. And, oh, look at that. We've got some more fucking spam bullshit. Oh, dear. So... That is disappointing, but I guess that's just the way of these of streaming sometimes. Sorry about that little bit of lag there. But 1 lap to go. Tara leads. Noah, that is, ahead of Snipes and Ross. But Ross slowly getting closer to NZ Snipes here. So once again, Snipes just fading towards the back end of the race. In fact, Ross doing a personal best on that last lap. As Burke still holding on to 4th place ahead of Teglash and Locke. And a little bit further back, got a number of cars off there in the background. So Higginson 7th ahead of Liccardo, Termo, Cracker, Matt Cecil, Mike Coulson, Greg Tara, Christian Alvarez, Taipan, Aaron Lochnan there. So also that's a little bit of server lag as well. So yeah, just a little bit of server lag at the moment. We've got Matt Cecil off the road there at turn 1. So may need just a little bit of a server reset at the end of this race, but we'll stick with this battle here, at least for now. We'll just skip ahead to see where the leaders are here. So Tara just coming down the hill for the final time. He's going to the inside, perhaps to celebrate, and it'd be a shame if he rolled over by clipping the curb too much on the final corner in the final lap, which he has not done there. So Noah Tara will cross the line and take victory in race number 3 ahead of NZ Snipes, who just manages to finish in front of Noah Tara. And we've got late drama once again, a car off in the final corner on the last lap, and it is Laszlo Teglas, who's been having a good night, just locked up at the final corner, and well, that is disaster for the Hungarian. And that will mean Lockie Lock will come home in 5th, Higginson in 6th ahead of Liccardo, Termo and Cracker. Mike Coulston nabbing a top 10 ahead of Greg Tara, which is good to see. With Alvarez home in 12th, we did see him having some issues as well, but he was having a good run, but didn't quite end the way he would have liked in 12th. Taipan in 13th, Lochnan home in 14th ahead of Tim Redmond, who we did see go off at the final corner early on in the race ahead of Matt Cecil in 16th, Rhodey in 17th, who gets himself into good positions and then throws it all away at the last corner. Finishes 17th ahead of Teglas, who did manage to get out of Gravel Trap to finish 18th ahead of Brian Walsh, Melody Smith, and Scott Nolan too, who we saw down there at Cole Corner, having to dig himself out with a spade ahead of Glenn Miles there. All 22 drivers that started finished in this one. What will the final race of the night throw up? Don't go anywhere. All right. Due to that little bit of lag there towards the end of the that third race there, server just being completely restarted to hopefully prevent any more of those issues and to allow both the broadcast as well as the drivers out there to have a nice, clean, smooth race number 4. I mean, action packed so far, but for those watching along and for those watching at a later point in time, this final race, we've seen Rhodey as well as Tim Redmond in two of the 3 races make mistakes there at the last corner, but Rhodey, I believe, in every race on at least one occasion, but perhaps in some of the other ones that we haven't seen, maybe twice or 3 times, the final corner just seems to just clip that curve too much and half roll and then into the gravel trap and into the fence of the final corner. So this final race, we are on Rhodey watch. So anytime we see a shot going down that pit straight, you're going to be keeping an eye out on the what's going on in the background if we're not looking directly at Rhodey or following Rhodey directly, and see if we can pick up Rhodey killing himself once again at the final corner at Barbagallo / Wanneroo Raceway. So 3 races and 3 different winners so far. It's been pretty good, and hopefully we can have a 4th winner, a 4th different winner here, and hopefully we can see some more very exciting racing. But still just a little ways away here. Of course, warm-up will be about 10 minutes or so as well. As we go to get ourselves back into the server and into the shitstorm, where we've seen 23 drivers tackle this extremely how would one describe Wanneroo Raceway? I guess tidy circuit, maybe. Yeah, it's a circuit with corners and straights, and it's based in Western Australia. Actually, thankfully this is actually 2006 Western Australia, because if it was current day, this series would not be, well, this round would not be going ahead, because Mark McGowan would have locked everybody out, particularly those in any, well, other Australian state. He'd actually probably let the New Zealanders in, knowing him, but yeah, it's 2006 Perth, so we're all good, which is good to see. But we're back in the server, and after Rossi murdered Scott Nolan 2 out there, hopefully Scott Nolan 2 gets some of his back and sends him into the stands. That'd be fantastic to see. But in any case, just going to take a short break while I get the server all sorted out and the grid set for the final race. So don't go anywhere, or if you do, just grab yourself a cold one or 5 and just drink them before the start of the race. unmuted myself again, and we're back. But don't tell anyone we're going to have a special guest. So just bear with us for, I don't know, 30 seconds. Just bear with us. And we're back with Mark Scaife, special guest. Mark, what is your take on the situation?
Yeah, look, the racing's been very, very good. But personally, I don't like these cars, Lewis. They're just not they're not leaned towards my driving style. Like, I like a very, real drive. That's my sort of forte, and a lot of the drivers do a very, very good job in both configurations of car, Lewis. If in my opinion.
So you, Mark, would prefer the Ford Falcon AU Forte. That would be your prime motor vehicle.
In this case, yes, Lewis. The cars are very, very good. Off the corner, with a front-wheel drive, Lewis, you've got to really attack the entry of the corner and try to set up the end of the quarter to get the best exit. But of course, with a rear-wheel drive, you can use the rear tyre a lot more. So in that case, it's very good. But look, I like all kinds of cars, but rear-wheel drive is just my thing.
Well, there you go. Thanks, Mark, for your incredible insights, and you have a good night, mate.
Yeah, you too, Lewis. Thanks, mate.
All right, so we've heard it there first. Mark Scaife is a Ford man. He likes the Forte over VX, VY, VT. There you go. So Mark Scaife, Ford man, confirmed. And all those Ford fans in the late 90s, early 2000s, even the mid to late 2000s that bought all that Mark Scaife HRT Ford gear, well, it's useless now. You might as well just go and burn it. So Mark Scaife to Tickford Racing in 2022 confirmed he's going to take Cam Waters' seat and lead the Blue Oval back to the top. Not in a Ford Mustang GT, but in a Ford Falcon AU Forte. There you go. But anyway, we're back in the warm-up session, and 7.5 minutes to go before, once again, the world's biggest motor race. So, looking for some great entertainment. And once again, in this warm-up session, we'll just go to Roadie Watch. And, see if, he gets rolled over for starters, or if he bins it here himself, or if he just, bowls it off at the last corner again. As we see someone out there that's done some lawn mowing down there at Cole Corner. But here we go. The final corner. Roadie, he lives. Not the ideal line, but he's able to get through there and not die. And the design of his livery there is based off of his helmet, and so he's got Rossi there driving backwards. Now, speaking of Rossi, he was the one that actually painted this livery for Roadie. He enjoyed it very much, and in fact, I would appreciate those that do watch this back if they do private message Rossi and say that they should all paint, or to get people to paint their liveries just like Roadie's helmet, especially if they use Roadie's photos of his helmet that he has sent me when I actually painted his helmet in game, as well as what he sent to Rossi to paint that car. So there was some really high quality photos from Roadie, as we see. A bit of contact there, or maybe even a handbrakey, and all contact there. Redman's gone, and Roadie continues on. So Roadie is the superior driver to Tim Redman and Termo there, as we are on Roadie Watch here. So yeah, Rossi's very, very happy to paint that helmet onto that car. And if those that do have a real life race helmet design, send it into Rossi and just take photos with flash on. Get it as pixelated as possible. So don't have the most ideal lighting. Make sure there's sort of, put it on the bed as well. So you got some, bits of cloth and stuff in the way of some important parts of the helmet. And try and get him to paint that helmet as a livery. He will appreciate that greatly. And it'd be good to see, what he could come up with. Because this livery here, he's done a really good job. It's come out, at least to me, it looks a lot like the green-eyed monster, except it hasn't got green headlights. It's they're clear, so you could say it's the boring-eyed monster. As we continue on with our roadie watch, and he is yet to roadie yet to roll over just yet. A driver that has jumped into this session that didn't race in the last race. We've got 23 in the server for this one. I've done the batch file. So drivers wanting to get this last race over and done with. Of course, the Kiwis be very, very late for them right now. In future, probably have to adjust the length of the warm-ups because I'm able to get through the grid files pretty quickly. But just riding on board Rossi here on a replay, obviously you can see here he's had some kind of brake and steering problem. He's so close to wiping out Rhodey there. He's actually done a really good job to get himself back into the pits as well. So good job, Rossi. Get himself into the pits and avoiding a disaster. As we're going to tick over and you can see the process. Go to next session. And Rossi complaining that we missed, well, I missed everyone blocking him. Well, too bad. Too bad as we enter the Great Sink. And you can just have a look around and see that there's no vehicles because everyone is just waiting, or the server's just waiting for all the clients to sort of ping back to it. And Rossi having go in the chat, a bit bold, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out after somebody selected the wrong circuit for the title card for the screenshot that was put out onto the Facebook page, as well as the splash screen. We'll have a look at it. And does that run into turn one look like this one? And the answer, no. So, Rossi, you had one job and you stuffed it. So don't blame me. I'm just a broadcaster. I'm not paid. It happens. What also happens, high-speed passes by hot air balloons. Welcome to Steam Edition. There it goes. And that is Australia's Air Force. You may think I'm joking, but it's actually true. That is our Air Force right now. He's just that. One hot air balloon with an FA18 painted on the side. But here we go. For race number 4, right? Last race of the night. I'll just make sure everybody's okay. Yeah, looks like everyone's fine. Ooh, a little bit of a stutter there, but we're back. Just make sure... No, got Luke Joyner going very, very slowly. Make sure no one's in the pits. We'll go backwards here. Have a little quick squeeze through the field as Joyner finally gets going. But run through the grid here. And we have Noah Tara from pole. NZ Snipes looking to break through and finish higher than second or third. Brendan Ross somehow finished third in that last race. Hashtag miracle. Then we have Lockie Burke in 4th. Lockie Lock. Battle of the Lachlan's there. 4 and 5. Nathan Higginson in 6th. Dane Liccardo will start 7th. The roadblock. Then we have Termo in 8th. Cracker in 9th. In very similarly liveried cars. Of course, Cracker been running the black and gold Penrite liveries for a number of years now. Signature style. Termo just jumping on the bandwagon there. Mike Coulston in a very nice camel 7er livery. Shades of Lotus and Benetton. The early 90s in Formula 1. G-Tuz will start in 11th. Christian Alvarez will start from 12th with Type Band in 13th. Darren Loughnane in 14th. Tim Redmond. He'll be a man to watch in this one. He'll start 15th ahead of Matt Cecil and Rhodey. Will also be on Rhodey watches. Tim Redmond smashes into Darren Loughnane on the formation lap. That is a life man. And then we have Laszlo Teglash, another man to watch in this one. Late drama at the final corner on the last lap in that last one. He'll start 18th instead of in the top 5. Walsh will start 19th. Melody Smith will start in 20th. And Scott Nolan too, after a disastrous race 3, will start in 21st ahead of Glenn Miles and Luke Joyner, who's been able to make it back. And once again, they had multiple drivers jump ahead and go into the wrong pit boxes. What the... This is unacceptable. Matt Cecil is Giancarlo Fisichella. Now, Giancarlo Fisichella did it twice in different years, but at the same venue in Malaysia. He did it for Benetton, and then a few years later, I believe he did it for Renault. And he's done it again. Rhodey's also well out of position. This is amateur hour. Absolute amateur hour down here. Another driver got moved. We've got drivers all over the place. Cars angled. The lights are on, and we've got to wait 4 years for these guys to get to turn 1. And it looks like Snipes has got a decent getaway, but so has Noah Tara, and it's going to be a drag and a dive bomb into turn 1. Snipes has the inside. We haven't had the big one yet. And we haven't got the big one, and Nolan is half around at turn 1. Not sure if he was nudged. And we've got a number of cars drifting at turn 4. And who's that? That's Termo trying to go around the outside. Redmond also trying to go around the outside. And look at that speed. Or lack of. And now they're running into Cole Corner. Snipes in the lead. Noah Tara, Brendan Ross. Higginson somehow 4th. We've got Mike Coulston and Cracker all at sea there. What has happened? And there's absolute pandemonium down there at Cole Corner. There's cars off everywhere. There's Mike Coulston and our man Rhodey. What has happened here? So we're right on board Rhodey. And what has happened here? So Mike Coulston's lost it and run into the back of someone. Cracker's run into the back of Coulston. And then Rhodey has done the cold trickle from Days of Thunder, but not the cold trickle from the final Daytona race in that movie, but he's done the cold trickle that put Cold Trickle in hospital. And we've got Tim Redmond off the final corner again. A little bit of a nudge there, and away he goes into the gravel trap. He's got out of it, but a lot of work to do for Tim Redmond. And with that, Dane Liccardo back up into 4th spot. Well, NZ Snipes in the lead. We might get our 4th different winner here. still a long way to go. As Liccardo and Higginson getting it sideways. I feel bad for Termo, Lockie Burke, Lockie Locke, and Greg Turra and Christian Alvarez, because they've got to get by Higginson and Liccardo, who, well, let's just say they've done their best to wobble around this circuit, and wobbled they certainly have. And they will block, defend, and dive bomb their way to lead to your utter frustration. And they're continuing to do so here. Big dive from Higginson into turn 1 after Termo got the job done at the final corner. And again, he's going to have the run on the exit, and he gets P5 back. So these guys here are going to drop away from the top 3, who are going to just drive away. Even if they do battle, they're still going to be slower than these guys behind, because you've got the king and queen of wobblers in 4th and 5th, with Termo in P6, Lockie Burke in P7, and G-Tars is making his way forward as well in this one. As we see Burke making a big dive on Termo. I would expect Lockie Burke to have a big crack. In these kinds of races, he does have big goes, and he may be able to be one of the ones that is able to break out of this group. But here we go. Got a pack of 4 cars all bunched together. What could go wrong here into the final corner? A bit of contact on the way to the braking zone. In the background, a couple other cars looking to make moves as well. Termo's going to try and go around the outside. Bit of curb usage from G-Tars, and a bit of contact on the exit, as we see Snipes with the fastest lap of the race breaking away from Noah Turra and Brendan Ross, but still close at the front 3. After that, though, we've got an absolute barnstorm of a battle here. There's contact between Liccardo. Oh, and that's Burke. He's sort of half around. He's half over, but he's able to keep going. But that was all because Nathan Higginson just decided to send it from 745 cars back. Actually, no, that's because, once again, Dane just wobbled in the mid-corner because he doesn't know how to drive a front-wheel drive car. Higginson nowhere to go, and then that just set off a chain reaction. So, unfortunately for Lockie Burke, I was talking him up, and, well, he's not died, but he almost died. So he's now in 13th. He's, again, because he's got king and queen wobbles in front, it's not that far away as we see contact between Alvarez and Turra. Alvarez finally getting those elbows out. He's had enough of playing nice. Get out of my way. So we see a bit of Teglas and Turra action there. Not sure if that was just a lose or some untoward driving there. Oh no, just a... Yeah, perhaps it was there. Bit of frustration perhaps. Yeah, no good. No good. Be quite frustrated with that. We've got a big battle between Miles and Walsh here. So Walsh on that last lap made a mistake. He's going to send it straight back up the inside in contact with Miles. All these drivers seem to get their foot off the throttle when they make contact with another driver instead of keeping it pinned when they go sideways. And that's what's causing them all this grief. And we've had Brendan Ross drop down to 11th here. So Rossi has made a mistake. What has happened? He's just gone straight off the road at turn 1. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. And once again, Dane Liccardo wobbling at Cole Corner. Partner in crime. Nathan Higginson right behind him as well. But Termo has finally broken through there. It's now a podium place as we've got, of course, Noah Turra in the lead ahead of Snipes. We didn't catch that in that slight replay just a little bit earlier on there. As we see contact between Higginson and Liccardo. It's forced Liccardo a little bit wide. It's killed his momentum as well. Higginson gets that position. Termo's also had a poor run. Got Luke Joyner leaving the pits. Cecil running wide. And Christian Alvarez looking to get in on that action. Contact with Liccardo. I'm not sure if he just outbroke himself or he's just upset. But it's all kicking off here. Yeah. I don't think he was too pleased with being squeezed on a straight there. Bit of retribution, perhaps. As we see Higginson taking, well, what could be described as an adventurous line down there. Right-hander. Termo's going to try and go around the outside Cole corner. They both get it sideways. And I've got a car off in the background. That is Brendan Ross. And was there contact or was there a lack of talent there? I think just a little bit keeping too much of an eye on the car in front and lost track of where he was. A bit afraid of running into the back of the car in front, and he's made that mistake. So Higginson in a podium position. Tara Noah, that is, still leads. And again, more heavy blocking from drivers in the pit straight. Could see Alvarez go and fire another car off here. Just right on board here. So inside goes Tara, a little bit of leaning there. And then Alvarez has the run, and that door is just firmly shut. So heavy racing here. Turmo now in third. Looks like he's slowly edging away from Higginson once again sideways, just wobbling it around. Ahead of Lockie Lock, who's having a good solid run, although he would have been hoping to be a couple places ahead. But still running a nice P5 behind him though. They've got this very angry battle pack. They've got a fired up Alvarez. And oh, there's a rollover, there's a massive smash. And well, I guess it's been happening. Cars have been moving all over the place in braking zones and down straights, and Taipan is dead. So let's have a look from helicopter cam. Oh, I guess you could call it helicopter cam. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to decide. There's going to be some unhappy people after this one, I think. See Ross get ahead there of Matt Cecil. And Turmo and Snipes duking it out. So Noah Tara's well out in front. Snipes has made a mistake here. What has happened? Oh, he's gone off at turn one. He's just done a Brendan Ross. He's just gone straight off. So he was looking to go one better, and instead he's back in the same spot. Noah Tara could claim 2 victories tonight. Well, from here, he should. But who's going to get second? We've got a car off. It's still Taipan down there trying to get himself out of the gravel trap. As Snipes and Turmo duke it out. Snipes has got the inside for turn 1. And he gets the job done. So Snipes holds on for now, but Turmo looks like he's got a decent exit here. You go side by side through the 2 and 3 sweepers. And then, oh, Snipes just holding on for dear life there. Turmo gets that position back, so good racing for second place. It's probably the cleanest set of racing we've seen all night. Turmo a little bit deep under brakes, also giving a little bit of space, but he's too wide. He's on the grass, and Snipes to take that position. And Lockie Lock, well, he had nowhere to go except for the rear bumper of Turmo there. As we see these cars now at maximum velocity, and Higginson in P5 just ahead of Greg Tara, Lockie Burke, and Christian Alvarez. Higginson's got himself a penalty. What has he done? He's cut the track too many times. One would hazard a guess. It's the only thing he could have done. Oh, it's just gone straight to the inside of the track. He's cut the inside of the track. I don't understand. He might get another penalty here because I don't believe these cars are pit lane speed limiters. May have been going a little bit too quickly here. No, he's done enough. But here, we've not seen much of him in this one. I did say there's going to be roadie watch, but we haven't really seen him in the back of any shots. Doesn't mean too many battles here in this one either by the looks of it. Laszlo Tegla's down in 17th after his early dramas. and frustrations, which is fair enough. For the most part, the field has spread out, but we do have this main battle pack consisting of Lockie Burke, Christian Alvarez. Scott Nolan 2 is caught up to the back of it with Greg Turra just in front of him. Burke goes defensive. Alvarez goes for the switch. And he'll have the run, but not enough of a run. See Cecil very wide in the background. Alvarez up the inside. The door's open for a moment there, but oh, we've got a car off there. That's Nolan and Ross. What has happened here? Oh, so Nolan 2 has been caught out by the cars in front, going a little bit slower than he would have wanted. And then Ross has run wide in sympathy and ran into Nolan 2. Dear oh dear. So, just a few laps to go now. Noah Tara's got this race in the bag. Don't have to worry about a commentator's curse here. He's won this race. The battle now for the minor placings. Snipes just ahead of Turmo. And unfortunately, Scott Nolan 2 out of the race. Another fastest lap for Noah Tara. All but confirming his race win. But yeah, for the most part here, looks like most of the battle packs have died down. Field just a little bit strung out here. But we do have Brendan Ross, Matt Cecil, Dane Liccardo, Cracker and Tim Redmond also just starting to buy into a little bit of a battle here. Bit of contact between Ross and Liccardo. And now Ross and Matt Cecil also make a little bit of contact. Cecil and Liccardo, a bit of squeezing. Higginson's got himself another penalty for cutting the circuit, one would imagine. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's cut the inside of the course there. The AOW file hasn't really been modified, so may cause some dramas, but you really shouldn't be going to the inside of the circuit like that. But this little battle pack looks like Ross just starting to break away. Now the battle's going to be the 9th place with Matt Cecil, Dane Liccardo, Cracker, Tim Redmond all duking it out. We're on the final lap. Noah Tara will win this race. 11 seconds ahead of Snipes, who's just edged away from Turmo now. And now Lockie Lock, he's got to look into his mirrors. He's got Lockie Burke right behind him. The battle for the Supreme Lachlan. Is it Burke or is it Lockyer? The Lachlan Cup. And Burke up the inside. And some nice driving from Lock there. Able to hold on around the outside. Gave Burke just a little bit of space. As Noah Tara coming to the final corner. That's a big battle here. 4th place. Lockie Burke's got the good run. And Lockie Lock's just going to let him have it here. He's not going to defend it at all. I don't believe it. What is he doing? What is he doing? He's just let him go. Noah Tara, of course, wins. And Snipes is going to come home in 2nd. And the old block from Lockie Burke is going to get that job done. What? I don't understand. There's no defence at all in the final lap. Alvarez will take 6th, but he'll be quite unhappy with some of the on-track performance and respect he was shown in that one. Ross, Greg Tara home in 7th. Ross Brendan home in 8th. It's Cecil and Liccardo there having a bit of a coming together at the end of the race. Actually, no, they both just drove off the track, it seems. Not sure if there's anything in it. But Dane home in 9th. Cecil, Matt home in 10th. Cracker in 11th. Tim Redmond in 12th. Laszlo Teglas home in 13th place ahead of Glenn Miles. And Rhodey in 15th. Mike Coulston in 16th, Brian Walsh in 17th, ahead of Nathan Higginson, who found himself with a couple drive-through penalties. Melody Smith would have actually been in a decent position, but went off the road there by the look of it. Final corner. So, yeah, there you go. She was battling. Brian Walsh tried to go around the outside and couldn't quite do it. We'll have Luke Joyner home in 20th with Scott Nolan 2, Taipan and Darren Loughnane, all non-finishers in this one. Anyway, we've seen some interesting racing this evening. I'm sure some people will be quite happy with the amount of enjoyment they had, and there's going to be some people that are going to be quite frustrated, which is fair enough. Did want people to race hard and to have fun, but sometimes people do take it a little bit too far and don't show enough respect. But anyway, from tonight's broadcast, hope you've enjoyed round one of the biggest races of the year. And big thanks to Mark Scaife for that exclusive interview just prior to race number 4, where he confirmed that he's a Ford man and prefers the Ford Falcon Forte over any Holden or General Motors vehicle. Anyway, catch you for the next one. Not sure if I'll broadcast the next one, because I would like to see some little bit more courtesy alongside the hard racing. But anyway, have a good one, and maybe catch you next week, maybe not.